Somewhere a bit different today. We're in Edinburgh.
Welcome back to the channel, hope you're all well. I'll explain in a bit what I'm doing up here. So yeah, Edinburgh, good. Hospital appointments, even worse. Good though, this parking attendant says this was the coolest motorbike he'd seen all day when I came in. How nice is that?
See you later, cheers!
Thank you, sir. Well, that's me just been up for my yearly CT scan, and I'll explain what all that's for. So 5 years ago I got diagnosed with a kidney tumour, and good news is the removal of the tumour from the kidney was a success. They managed to save the kidney as well, a wee bit missing out yet. And since I've had yearly scans and we've always been okay. So that's 5 years, it's all looking good. Always a nervous time. Something I don't really do is get nervous, but this once I get that letter through the post confirming everyone's okay, they're always a happy chappy. So I'm going to explain how they ended up finding, they found that tumour. And there's a twist in this story that you'll find quite nice. So I'll explain as we get through the traffic of Edinburgh. So we're on the western side of Edinburgh, we're heading down to the coast. Can't get right down straight ahead onto Granton, but somehow closed the road, which is a shame, because I wanted to go down and show you the Ferranti buildings, with obviously they've got the jet on the roundabout. So anyway, we'll just go along Ferry Road and I'll explain a few things. Let's get around this roundabout first. So it was about 2014, I think it was. I basically got up one morning and fell over. I'd been drinking before you say, blurry vision, everything like that, don't know what's going on. Phoned my mum, and she used to be a nurse, you see, a staff nurse, so I asked her what was going wrong. She thought probably a ear infection, which can affect your balance and to a certain extent your eyesight. But she gave us a lift to the docks. They looked at my eyesight and they said, right, you need to go to an optician's. They were a bit alarmed, the opticians. Anyway, cut long story short, up to the western, and I'm looking at the walls, MS. I thought, I ain't got MS. Now, to explain, multiple sclerosis is a horrible thing. And it seems to affect people in the northern hemisphere worse because of the lack of sunlight, or less sunlight. And it is definitely worse in Scotland than England, and it is basically lack of getting sunshine, the vitamins you need. So I couldn't work this out with me working outside as a greenkeeper. So anyway, you get the MRI scans, blah blah blah, and they diagnose me with MS. Now it's not degenerative MS, now that is very different, that's a terrible thing. So relapse remitting MS is something that most folk will just live with, like I do, and it won't affect them. So it can affect your joints, just physical sort of tiredness a bit and that. But so does getting old do that, you know. Arthritis, if you're like me, work with a lot of machines, strimmers and things, the older ones with vibration and that, you're going to get a bit of white finger, a bit of arthritis in your hands and stuff. Just nature of life, of working hard, I guess, for many years. Yeah. Does it affect me? I don't even talk about it. The friends that I know I have this know not to ask me about it. You don't want, if you want to talk about it, you'll talk, but I don't. I've kind of just sort of, I'm in denial, you could say, of it, and I'm just getting on with my life and proving you can still do your work, you can still do hobbies, cycling, whatever you do, which I do, motorbikes, whatever, you know, and it doesn't take over your life, and it's all in the head. It's how you deal with stuff. Now you hear all this mental health talking videos all the time now, and I just think this is nonsense. I mean, people are getting bred now to believe that there's something wrong with them, and you know, it's a mind over matter thing. You just get on with life. Mental health and mental illness is very different. Very different. So I don't have time for mental health because I'm too busy getting on with stuff. And all the folk that seem to have all this problem are folk that don't seem to work, funny enough. Everyone else is too busy working, too busy with their families and friends, etc. So anyway, so that's that. So living with that. Now, it doesn't mean you change your life or anything. You just carry on. You get a yearly MRI scan, and what it is they're checking for demyelination. It's like a liquid which covers your brain and your spinal cord and stuff. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not really want to go into it. So you can look it up if you want. But what upset me was going up to the Royal Centre in Edinburgh. So that's the centre for multiple sclerosis treatment and stuff. A lot of the money for that was donated by author J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter fame, whose mother died of MS at the age of 45. I was supposed to have a yearly visit to the Royal Centre. I've more or less stopped going now because it's just too upsetting. I'll explain why. And seeing people with degenerative MS and seeing the same folk a year later now walking on sticks, and a year again, following year in wheelchairs. It's very sad to see, and there is help for these people, but there's very little help. I just feel I can get on with life and just do what I want to do, and these nurses are dedicated to look after these folk. They should be spending time with these people that really need the help, not folk like me. I feel like I'm just sort of holding back them getting on with looking after the folk that need the help, really. That's just me. That's how I've dealt with it and how I feel about it. So while this nation seems to be full of spongers screwing the system for everything wrong with them, the reality is if you get MS, you're actually entitled to about £105 a week, and that is it. Though you will get help with rent, you may even get help with transport, because you can still drive. I don't do any claims. I don't claim for anything. I never have for anything. And just get on with it, you know. I'm lucky I got offered part-time work, partly because of this happening, partly because it's a policy in my workplace now. Once people are over 50, if they've worked all their life, they want to go part-time. You can, so I did. You get a yearly MRI scan to check the progression of your MS condition and the demyelination it is. And on one scan in 2018, they seen something in one of the kidneys. They didn't know if it was a blood clot or that, so I had to go for a CT scan of the kidneys, and that's when they diagnosed a tumour. So I basically went from an MRI for MS to another one to be told I had cancer, and it felt like the ground had been pulled out from under me. But a successful operation, and 5 years later, still all clear, so happy days. If I hadn't been diagnosed with MS and went for these yearly scans, they would have missed that, or no one would have known until it was too late and possibly could have become terminal. So I must be the only person who says being diagnosed with a condition of MS possibly saved my life, which is, there's always another outcome of things, isn't there? You know, and that's the most bizarre thing to say, but it's true. That would have been undetected, and then the tumour would have went into spinal cord or something, and that would have been it, game over. So yeah, life works in mysterious ways. That's all I can say. Yeah, lucky boy. But yeah, so back to today. We're getting out of Edinburgh. God, I hate cities. I could just hate general public. I don't mean to be nasty to anyone, but God, folk. I just hate going anywhere where there's loads of folk. Now I just love being out and about on my own or with my partner or with our friend, enjoying open spaces that we still have. Anyway, let's get through all this traffic. So we're now going into Leith, and a really cool mural on the wall down here, you'll see it. We should do more stuff like this in cities. Look at that, that's amazing. So there you go, I've done it. I've mentioned that I was never going to mention MS at all on a video or anything. I wrote about it on my blog when it all happened, and that's been it. But it's quite nice. Sometimes you can maybe give folk encouragement to get diagnosed because they think everything's coming to an end, and if it's degenerative MS, then they are going to need a lot of help and their lives will change. But relapse remitting MS, you can live with it, believe me. I'm proof. There you go. So Port of Leith, I mean, it's like all these other harbour places, ports and stuff. It's all developed into housing now. Some beautiful Maltons here, the old warehouses. They've been turned into housing and restaurants and stuff. But it's quite pretty along here over the water, Leith. Thankfully, this route from Seafield along to the Western Hospital is pretty pothole free, but it's pretty bumpy. But some of the roads in Edinburgh are absolutely shocking for potholes. I mean, she has to drive an ambulance around here, and she said it's just terrible. It's been nicknamed the pothole capital of Europe, and I can probably believe that's true. So what else is happening? You'll have seen the Jeep videos. Took the Jeep to work one day last week, the Scottish Open, and I've got a film there you've just seen me back to work as normal. Everyone's kind of a week behind. Look at the view here, it's beautiful, the restaurant boat. Beautiful architecture here as well, down in these buildings. I'll just sneak through here. So through Great Junction Street, and then it's a bit of a start-stop. Then we'll get out on the Seafield and finally out towards East Lothian. The Enfield seems to be coping fine with city traffic and stuff, city riding. It's a great bike, ideal. can't go fast. It's a 30 mph speed limit, so what do you need a big bike for? This of course is where the book Trainspotting's based, and there's the tram lines. There's another good rant you could have in a film about the money wasted by the Scottish Government on them. Absolutely ridiculous. So just along here used to be the Pond, a pub, a classic old Leith pub. It's turned into a kind of hipster pub now. But opposite there's a scrapyard, and there's flats behind it now, new flats, and it's actually, you'll have seen it in Trainspotting 2, the film, when they're up in the flat. That's it, looking over the scrapyard, just up here. That's the pub that used to be the Pond, and there's your scrapyard, Dalton's, and the new flats that's used in Trainspotting 2. Just along here there's a speed camera. Funny, it used to be a picture in that pub of the speed camera. Why? Who knows? So back to my 3-day weeks, and weekend after this, I'm going to change the oil filter and fuel filter and all that on my lowest Jeep. So I'll do a wee film on that for those interested. And before that, I've got a film on an aerial I made for it. That's really cool. So it'll be a kind of news playlist of messing around in the garage films. And it kind of explains how you go out to the garage to do a half-hour job, and 4 hours later you've done another 3 jobs. And that's what seems to happen. You seem to end up getting roped in it, or decide to do something else, and you do 3 jobs at once and whatever. Bit of a traffic jam going on here. You often folk jump lights on ambers, and then they cause these problems. I'll just get in with the traffic up here. That's traffic lights, that's what it is, it's roadworks going on. So never buy petrol at that petrol station. There used to be a cottage in there, and the chap got evicted out of it. He was renting it, and because the garage was getting built. There you go, so don't buy out. So the guy's name was Jim, because he had motorbikes, and he was known as Satellite Jim because the cottage had this huge dish on it. I don't know where he'll be now. Well, there you go. Anyway, heading up to Seafield now, and I'm going to cry when I see all the vans. My wee van's still not fixed yet. The guys haven't bothered with the turbo's got a leak. The turbo's been put on, so it's just getting work done on Sundays, so it is what it is. But Car Central up here. If you want to buy a car, come to Seafield. Finally, good to get out the traffic. So just up the top of this hill here, over the railway line, you will see on the horizon North Berwick Law in East Lothian. Not far now. We'll be back in the Shire through Portobello. So there's Gullin on the hill, Gullin Hill, North Berwick Law. You won't quite see it unless you got this on your big TV watching it. vans for sale there. Prices are going daft, aren't they, for cars now? Even high mileage cars. So, what else have I been up to? I had a go at paddleboarding yesterday. Now I'm terrified of the sea, of water. When I was a kid, I could probably swim a length and that'll be about it. More vans. So you'll get a laugh at that, and I tell you what, I really enjoyed it. Great getting out with G on the paddleboard. We're down at Seacliff and it was a stunning day. No wind, flat cam, underneath St Talon Castle, then underneath Gin Head. Great new view of the coast there that I visit so often. So down into Portobello now. Clearest traffic lights here. So here's a bit of history that a lot of folk won't know about unless they've got a Jeep or something. So a lot of the US Army vehicles were brought in by boat into Leith, and they were built here before getting put on trains down to the south coast in preparation for the Normandy landings in 1944. And the Jeeps were built in the Singer sewing machine factory, and I'm not sure its location exactly. You may have heard of the description of a Jeep in a crate. That's how they came. Everyone came in wooden crates, flat packed, and then they got assembled in these makeshift factories that were all turned into being used for the war effort. And they came in either packs of 4 crates or 6 or 8, it says in the manual that I've got. There's a bit more about all these crates. But apparently the gardens nearby of the workers that were doing it, they got the wooden crates to build fences and sheds in their garden. And there was, till recently, sheds with the Ford F stamp and Ford Motor Company on the walls of the wood. Or they'd have Willis Overland written on the boxes as well. So it'd be good to see one of them for a photo. So if anyone knows someone who's got one of them, I imagine the writing only exists on the insides of the sheds now after 80 years, if there's still any left. But that's where they were all built. So it'll be Sherman tanks, half tracks, Jeeps, full artillery guns as well. They've all been brought in on those boats. So we've just skipped 12 miles in the Backenlow Midray. Time's getting on with the film. So thanks for watching. A bit of a different topic and subject, which we'll now just bury. It's done, dusted. Just got on the life. Backenlow Midray, somewhere got a cup of tea at the moment before I head home. So if you're new in here, consider subscribing. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you might get a laugh or learn something, I don't know. But come and say hi, leave a comment, and I'll always respond to comments. Folk take the time to watch my films and comments, so you can do. I'll just get a photo and I'm off. Okay, thanks for again, and bye for now.